Hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of StarCraft 2 Casting with your host HNN. Today's casting is a tutorial video for Terran players who are looking for another strategy against Protoss players. Basically, if you guys haven't noticed, I haven't done a video in a while because it takes a really long time to do a video. It takes about 3 hours because it takes about 1.5 hours to encode a 15-minute video. It takes about 30 minutes to think about what you want to talk about, and then it takes about another hour to upload a video. So that's why I haven't been doing a lot of videos lately, but I will be try to do videos daily now. Well, at least 5 days a week. Just because, just to do it, just for fun. So anyway, I want to talk a little bit about my Protoss player, my opponent today. His name is MasterGOD. He's got 1,800 points in Diamond Level League. So he's fairly competent. So this is a good replay to show you guys how this strategy can work against Protoss players. And the strategy I am doing today is basically a Banshee Marine Rush, but I guess my version of a Banshee Marine Rush. I've been doing this strategy against Protoss players for about a month and a half now. And I'm very comfortable with it because it lets me win a lot of games. Why change my strategy whenever I'm winning a lot of games with this one particular strategy? And what this strategy revolves around is getting a fast Raven. People have different versions of how to do the strategy, so I'm going to show you guys mine. One version that I thought was pretty interesting, I actually saved that replay. And what the Terran player did was he went Marines, Marauders, and a Raven. It was pretty much a timing push. I haven't tried it yet, but it looks pretty viable. So I just wanted to say that basically this build revolves around getting a Raven as fast as possible, and then attacking the Protoss player whenever you have enough energy for your point defense drone. So this will be a heavy gas build for the particular build I'm doing. So you want to get your gas as soon as possible. First refinery, you build it during your time of you build your first refinery during the time you're building your first barracks, which is about 13-12 SEV, and then your second refinery you want to build it about 16-17 SEV. The sooner you start mining the gas, the better, because it is a heavy gas build for the particular Raven push that I'm doing. So I'm just gonna call it Raven push because some people do it a little differently than just Banshee Raven Marine. So I'm just gonna call it a Raven push. One of the things that I like to do, well, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but this build counters just about every early Protoss build. It counters Dark Templars, it counters Protoss 4-gate. Actually, it also counters a Protoss 5-gate. I've had that happen to me, and it also counters a Protoss Void Ray Stalker push. And one of the reasons it counters 4-gate is because you get a bunker. You want your bunker. I have my clock down here, and you can also see the timer up here. You want to get your bunker before the 5-minute mark, and the reason you want your bunker before the 5-minute mark is because Protoss players love to bring the Stalker, stick him up here, and zap a Marine, come back down here, recharge shields, come back up, and zap another Marine. And it gets pretty annoying, so you want your bunker before the 5-minute mark, because the 5-minute mark is whenever a Protoss player gets a Stalker out. And then after you have your bunker up, the first thing you want to go for in this gas-heavy build is straight for a siege tank, because the siege tank will protect you from a Protoss 4-gate, and it will protect you from a Protoss Void Ray Stalker timing push. Now I don't know if you guys have seen a Stalker Void Ray timing push, but it's a very strong strategy, and I used to hate it whenever it happened to me, but it doesn't really work too well against me anymore because I get a siege tank. And I guess let me explain to you a little bit what the Protoss Void Ray Stalker timing push is. What Protoss players do is they get a fast Void Ray and a couple of Stalkers, and the Void Ray will charge off of the supply depot. And if you want to kill the Void Ray, you got to take your Marines out and try to snipe the Void Ray attacking the supply depot. But what happens is the Stalkers are on the ground right here sniping your Marines. So you're not going to be able to kill the Void Ray because the Stalkers are killing your Marines. And Stalkers are a good counter to Marines, especially with their range is longer than Marines. So in order to counter this, you need a siege tank. Your siege tank should be able to protect your fortified line over here. And what the siege tank will do is it will shell any Stalkers on the ground over here, and that will see the range of the siege tank you can see this line. The siege tank will shell any stalkers down here, which will give your Marines breathing room to attack any void ray trying to charge off of the supply depot. And another thing I want to mention is this is basically a 1-1-1 build because you're going straight for a Raven as fast as possible. So you're going to have your store port, and if a Protoss player is doing a fast void ray push, their void ray will always be completed by the time your store port is up. So you should be able to make a Viking if you feel uncomfortable. So anyway, what I'm doing right now is I am scouting my Protoss opponent. One thing I want to mention about scouting is it's no longer useful to scan your Protoss player for the buildings in the higher level leagues, because what a lot of Protoss players like to do is they like to build their buildings all over the map. You know, they like to build sometimes they build their store gate like in some far-off corner in the map. So I no longer scout for their buildings. What I do scout for is their army. So what I did in this case was I wanted to see what was in his army, and I scouted him earlier, and I only saw zealots and stalkers. So what this build does is, you know, you got to make the right counter for the right units that your Protoss player is making. And I scouted him, or I scanned his army for to see what it had. It only had stalkers and zealots. So in order to counter stalkers and zealots, you get blue flame Hellions, which is absolutely fantastic against zealots, even if they have charge. And you have your Raven and Marines. Raven and Marines will be able to stop stalkers in their tracks. And I have one siege tank. So I mean, I'm pretty much comfortable with everything I have. And once you have your Raven, this is a very simple strategy. You don't need a lot of APM. Let me show you guys my APM first. It's pretty low. So anyway, once you have your Raven, you want to basically just attack right whenever you have enough energy in your Raven. But basically, make sure you have make sure you know what your Protoss opponent has, which is why I was scanning him earlier. I was scanning him earlier to see if I had the correct units in my composition to counter whatever he has. So let me show you guys what I have. So here's my unit composition. I basically got everything to counter whatever he has in his army. And looks like a battle is about to start.
Ready to raise some hell.
So that looked like it worked out pretty well. It's a pretty simple strategy. It's a fast push. Most games do end in about 10 minute mark. If you're not in Diamond Level League yet, or you're the lower level Diamond League, this strategy will help you a lot. So basically, let me recap a little bit. What this strategy revolves around is getting your Raven as fast as possible, and then scouting your opponent's army to see what in his army to make the correct unit counter. So if he's got like zealots with charge, make blue flame Hellions. If he's getting stalkers, make more Marines, because your Raven point defense strong will be able to stop those stalkers. Or you can make tanks. Tanks are very good against stalkers, and tanks are also good against Colossi. Well, this isn't actually a good video. Actually, I have more videos where some opponents do go Colossi against this build. And tanks, I can show you guys what tanks and banshees do play a good role in countering Colossi. So anyway, there's really not much he can do. He's just trying to delay the game right now. So he's gonna leave soon. So I guess maybe I should do a little bit of recap after I let you guys watch the rest of the fight. Okay, he's gone. So let me do a recap now. Basically, what this build revolves around is getting your Raven as fast as possible and trying to protect yourself before you have your Raven. And you want to protect yourself, well, I don't have the bunker anymore, but by getting a bunker and a siege tank. And a bunker and siege tank will be able to protect you from a Void Ray Stalker push, and it will be able to protect you from, what's that, Protoss 4 Gate. And then once you have all your buildings up, like factory and starport, you scan your opponent's army to see what he has in his army to make the appropriate counter. And in this case, I decided to go for 2 starports. So basically 1 barracks, 1 factory, and 2 starports. And I was just pumping out Ravens and Hellions because my Protoss opponent was making a lot of charge lots, a lot of zealots with charge. So anyway, I hope this replay helps you guys out. If you have any questions, you can, I don't know, just email me. If you want to see another video of how I defeat Void Rays or something like that with this particular build, I guess just ask me and I'll probably post that video up. So see you guys next time in my next video. This is HNN signing out.